Yo, this is it, bro. This is it. This is Marvel's comeback movie. Like, I literally just the other day when I was watching Fantastic Four trailer, I was like, Marvel gotta use the projects that they got this year to show that they're back. Just they gotta fully utilize the projects they got this year to show the MCU's back, man. Last night I went to watch the premiere for Captain America: Brave New World. Man, this was definitely the start of a comeback. I hope they can follow the momentum going on to all the other projects they got this year. This movie was great, man. Like they like this movie, when I was watching this movie, it didn't feel like I was watching a multiverse saga movie, because you could like all the multiverse saga movies kind of all, had something in common, you know what I mean? You could just tell like this movie is in the multiverse saga. But watching this movie, I didn't even feel like I was watching a multiverse saga movie. This movie felt like it belonged in the Infinity Saga. You know, they maintained a serious tone. This was a story driven movie, and they maintained like a serious tone throughout the movie. Like, I'm glad that Marvel actually remembers how to do that, to, just keep a serious tone for the entire movie. Like, there was no forced comedy, there was no, really like terrible forced comedy, or them just ruining like certain serious moments or serious exchange between certain characters with forced comedy, and then it just ruins the whole moment and takes away the seriousness. That's what the multiverse saga has been all about. But this movie, there was none of that. I'm like, okay, I'm glad Marvel actually remembers how to do this, to just maintain a serious tone whenever seriousness is needed. So I'm like, okay, finally, like, yeah, it took you all a few years, but okay. So, yeah, man, this movie was amazing. I hope this could be the start of a comeback for the MCU, man. I'm so stoked. This movie was great. Yeah, there was one post credit scene at the end of the movie where I feel like they were actually trying to tease the multiverse: Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars. It felt like they didn't want to say too much, so it was kind of more like, if you get it, then you get it. If you don't get it, so yeah. So I guess that's like a tease for the future events. And so basically, the easy way to put what this movie was about is, remember the Celestial Island? I mean, the Celestial Tiamat, who emerged from inside Earth, and then Eternals kind of froze him. So now it's an island called Celestial Island, and what they actually found a rare source of material there called adamantium, which is the same metal that is inside the Wolverine. So they mentioned that adamantium is actually stronger than vibranium. So it seems like adamantium is going to be the vibranium of this saga, So since Celestial Island isn't actually owned by anybody, unlike vibranium is owned by Wakanda, they don't give their resources to anybody. Adamantium is not really owned by anybody. That island is just popped up out of nowhere. So all the countries in the world, they attend a summit in America to basically agree to share the adamantium amongst them equally. So that's where particular character uses this moment to take revenge on Thunderbolt Ross, who is now the president. So he hires the Serpent Society to make Thunderbolt Ross look kind of bad, which kind of triggers a war between America and Japan. So who is this particular character who started all of this? Why he started all of this, and how Thunderbolt Ross is involved with all of this, and how Sam Wilson actually finds out who the villain is, how he stops everything, how he deals with everything. That is the plot of the movie. So I felt like, again, this was a great action movie. It really felt like a Captain America movie. I'm happy they kept the seriousness that's always there with Captain America movies, because you watch Captain America movies, especially like Civil War or Winter Soldier, especially this movie felt more to me like Winter Soldier more than First Avenger and Civil War. It was kind of like Civil War too, but Like they was more like government stuff and military. That was like the main focus of the movie. All the action scenes were great, and yeah, this Sam actually kind of feels like he's getting into the role of Captain America, because I feel like there's not a lot of difference between him and Steve, because he kind of does the same thing what Steve does, which is constantly be in disagreements with all these government officials. So the reason why, like, Sam and Ross wants to work together is because Ross wants Sam to rebuild the Avengers, but as usual, they want, the government wants it to be like their own terms, and Sam is like, what if once again we need to go somewhere and then you don't let us. It's kind of the same thing with Civil War. So because of that, they start to have kind of disagreements following the events after that. So yeah, man, it was kind of like watching Captain America, where he was trying to do the right thing instead of what his superiors ordered him to do, and that kind of landed him in trouble all the time. So that was basically, the same thing happening with Falcon, because he wanted to do the right thing all the time instead of just following what the government and all the military wanted to do. So also, I would like to say this movie felt a lot like a Hulk movie, because I wouldn't say it felt like a Hulk movie, but since every character in this movie, most of the characters in this movies are from the Incredible Hulk movie or some kind of Hulk, Incredible Hulk related characters. And also the first I mean not the first, but the only Incredible Hulk movie in the MCU was heavily referenced almost every chance they get. They reference the battle between Abomination and Hulk, and how Ross actually kind of like gained a bad reputation because he was really obsessed with the Hulk. His daughter stopped speaking to him, so they were referencing the Incredible Hulk quite a lot. And in some ways, I feel like Sam was not really needed in the movie, because they could have had Bruce Banner in this movie and made it a Hulk movie, but at the same time, after actually watching the movie, I'm like, you know what, Sam is actually needed, man, because there was some stuff that only Sam was able to do in this movie, where even Ross was not able to do. So if Sam were not in the movie, I feel like a war would have broken out between America and Japan. So he was like the person who kind of stopped that. So I was like, okay, yeah, he actually was actually needed. Yeah, man, speaking of the war between Japan and America, that was mostly because of the adamantium, because again, one particular character in the movie made Thunderbolt Ross look bad, because he kind of leaked information, or it was kind of like he hired someone to make it look like Ross did it, where he stole Japan's adamantium, even though Ross didn't, and then Japan didn't believe him, and then Japan just started to go to Celestial Island to take the adamantium themselves. And then America, I mean, since Thunderbolt Ross is the president of America, he just went all American, like how they're always. How the military is always is in the all the American movie. They're like, this was literally Ross's dialogue. Like, if any country has to take hold of all the adamantium, it's got to be America. That's not exactly the line that he said, but that was, exactly, what he was trying to say. If anybody's got to get hold of all the adamantium, it's got to be America. Even though he knows that this whole thing is a disagreement, but I guess the America in him didn't let him see things the right way. He was like, yeah, America gotta get hold of all of that. So, anyways, man, all the characters in this movie, I feel like they were utilized in a good way. Sam, this movie, I feel like it questioned a lot of Sam's decision because he did not take the serum. Because in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he didn't hesitate at all when Baron Zemo asked him, "Hey, do you want to take the serum?" He automatically said no. He didn't even hesitate. But in this movie, after going through a lot of hardships, sometimes it makes him question himself. Man, I should have taken the serum, because if I taken the serum, I could have been a better hero. I could have stopped this thing better. I could have prevented this from happening. So he felt like taking the serum could have actually made him a better Captain America. but he actually overcomes all of that. He actually learns how to become a proper Captain America without the serum. So that was like his entire arc in the movie. And towards the end of the movie, his wingsuit got completely destroyed by the Red Hulk. So yeah, he's not even, he can't even fly no more. So I don't know where that's gonna go from there. Is he gonna get a new suit? They didn't really mention a lot. So also, I think he did say that he wants to rebuild the Avengers. I'm excited for that too. I don't know how that's gonna go. It's gonna be like, I mean, if Marvel is continuing with the way they're going, with this movie, then maybe I have some hope. But if this is like a one-off thing and then Marvel goes back to doing some dumb shit after this, I'm like, all right, man, maybe the Avengers is gonna have like one of the weakest lineups or whatsoever. So also, man, President Ross, aka Red Hulk. Red Hulk's scenes, man. Red Hulk was only Red Hulk. I mean, they actually like was building up towards this transformation. It wasn't actually something that just happened out of nowhere. They were building it up the whole movie. I was like, man, please, when is he gonna transform? Like, and the build up was worth it. Like the wait was worth it. The way they was building up his transformation, it was all great. And by the time he transformed, like the entire time he was Red Hulk, that entire scene was great, man. I feel like how they did Red Hulk in this movie is what the Hulk should have been. After Incredible Hulk movie, after the Avengers, I feel like that's how Hulk should have been, because like, man, Red Hulk, he was crazy, bro. He was insanely powerful. He did the clap thing. Like, man, this, like I said, man, it really felt like a Hulk movie, bro. I was glad we're actually getting more Hulk characters, since they don't really give a shit about Bruce Banner anymore now that he's Professor Hulk. So also, yeah, small detail that I forgot to mention about Ross is that when Bruce Banner, he turns into the Hulk, right? What happens is his clothes usually tear apart, right? But for Ross, I like the detail where when he turned into the Hulk, his outfit didn't tear apart. It actually burned away. Because remember, with the Red Hulk, the more angrier he gets, I think his temperature increases too. So I like that detail that they put in there when he was turning into the Hulk. His clothes didn't tear apart. It actually burned away as he transformed into the Hulk. I thought that minor detail was actually pretty good. Yeah, man. His whole character was great, and he also had like a lot of character development too. That he actually kind of did the right thing, because he actually did something to the person who was targeting him to in the for the entirety of the movie, but he didn't actually want to reveal it because what he did was kind of wrong. So he was just kind of hiding that name to save his own ass. So eventually he did the right thing, and he had his own character development. The new Falcon, Joaquin Torres, his scenes were great too, and I like that he was actually making mistakes instead of him just getting the suit and he's all of a sudden just a pro at becoming the Falcon. So I like that he actually makes mistake. He gets shot at, he gets injured, and he actually learns how to become a better Falcon. So I like it shows that he's still a newbie at being a Falcon. And there was like a whole like he was saying like how he looked up to Sam. He really wanted to be the Falcon. So his whole arc was great, man. He was there the whole time with Sam. He was Sam's sidekick. His character was great. There was also this former Black Widow character who was like uh, she worked really close to Ross, and she actually was kind of helpful in the movie too. And usually, these kind of characters are always the ones that are like bringing down the main characters who's trying to do good. But she was actually helpful. I forgot what her name was, bro. She was like the head of security or something, and then eventually she was the one at the end who I think released Ross. So also, yeah, Isaiah Bradley was in this movie from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He was like mind controlled by the villain to actually kind of like ignite the fire that would eventually lead up to the war between like Japan and America. So he was brainwashed. So his scenes were great too, man. I actually like that they actually used him more, and he was also actually training the Falcon, and I mean Sam Wilson, and he eventually trained Joaquin Torres, the new Falcon too. I liked his role in the movie too. He was they actually used him to be pretty strong for that few moments that he was actually brainwashed. So we actually saw his like super soldier come out a little bit. That was kind of great too. And then we get to the main villain, the leader. All right, he was from the Incredible Hulk movie. I'm not really sure what to comment on his design. He kind of looked weird. I mean, I know the leader is supposed to look weird, but not this weird. So I'm not gonna comment too much about his look. He looked weird. That's all I'm gonna say. Uh, so he was the one behind everything. All right. So he was the one that wanted to start this whole. I mean, he didn't actually wanted to start a war between America and Japan. All he wanted to do was basically spoil Ross's name because Ross did something which was I think Ross said he was dying, so he wanted the leader's help to basically survive. So in return, he said that he would actually release Samuel Stearns after he became president, which obviously he did not hold up his end of the bargain. So he just kind of wanted to get revenge on Ross. So what he did was he wanted everybody to know what Ross did, because eventually when Ross turned into the Red Hulk, now everybody knows, what he has been up to. He's turned into the Hulk, and then all this while, he had this criminal Samuel Stearns actually helping him. So that's all he wanted. It was more like a revenge story. Like it was not really in the comics where the leader wanted to take over the world or something, but in this, he just wanted revenge because Ross didn't really hold up his end of the bargain. Also, the leader was kind of accurate to the comics too in terms of his powers because he was really smart. So I'm not. So at the end, he gets locked up. So I don't know if we're gonna see the leader ever again in the future movies. Also, yeah, man, we got a cameo from Bucky. That was super unexpected. I did not expect it at all. I mean, I kind of did expect it because when Isaiah Bradley was brainwashed, I was thinking it was something similar to Bucky because before Isaiah turned, there was like a music which plays. I was like, okay, this is something similar like Bucky. Somebody did something to Isaiah probably where this music actually triggers something, and then I was just waiting for Bucky to appear, and then he never appears. I was like, okay, maybe that was just a tease that hey, Sam knows a guy who went through something similar like this. But then eventually he showed up. I was not expect. I mean, I did expect it, but when it happened, I wasn't expecting it. If you get what I mean. So Bucky's now a politician. He was a congressman. So I don't know how this is gonna relate to the Thunderbolts because I don't know if this movie is after the Thunderbolts or before, but I don't know how he could be a politician, a congressman in this movie and be a an assassin in the next movie. So I don't get that one. So I think we're gonna have to wait for the Thunderbolts for that. Yeah, Betty Ross also made a cameo. She came at the end of the movie. Bro, it was funny how they mentioned her name on TV as Bruce Banner's ex-girlfriend. I was like, I don't know if that was a right way to mention someone on TV, Bruce Banner's ex-girlfriend. That was kind of stupid, and it was on the news. Someone on the news literally said out Betty Ross, ex-girlfriend of Bruce Banner. I was like, what? How can is that even a right thing to say on the news though? Like I thought that was stupid. All right, so all right, man. I guess that's all. This movie was amazing. I'm glad they're actually doing a movie with a more serious tone. They're not focusing on all these forced comedy, all these unfunny comedy, man. I'm glad they're stopping with this. This movie, I hope it could be the start of a comeback for the MCU. Like, man, this movie was amazing, man. Everything about this movie, all the action scenes, the battle scenes, of Sam was great as Captain America, bro. Like his ability, like I don't know, man. The way that he just used the shield and his wings and everything, like yeah, he was great at it, bro. I don't even know. I can't even find the words to describe it. It was great. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's next from the MCU from all these characters. Again, Sam lost his wings at the end. I think Joaquin lost his suit at the end too because he got shot down. No, he didn't get shot down, but he got injured, and then his suit kind of got damaged. But Sam's suit actually got damaged. Like his suit was done. You know, like bro, I liked something was with Red Hulk, where he was so powerful, he tore Sam's suit, which was made of vibranium. All right, that was pretty insane too. So, like, man, I don't know who the director of this movie is, but he did a great job, man. Marvel, damn, this got to be a comeback for MCU, man. I'm telling you, this movie was great. I can watch this movie again. I can go to the theaters in a few days, watch it again. I would not get bored at all. This was a great movie, man. Yeah, I could keep saying that all day. All right. So that is all from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you already seen this movie, comment down below what you thought about this movie. And then like this video. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel for more movie reviews. So till then, stay safe, take care, goodbye.